But where we last left off, you guys had just saved the elven children from a Nuklavi, and you were resting up because that was definitely a battle. Tia Longbottom, the head guard of the city, wants to see you as soon as you wake up in the morning. So we're gonna start there. If you wake up, you leave the inn that you guys got to stay for free because again, you saved some kids. What do you want to? Do you want to go see what Tia wants or what?
I would like to send word to Tia. I need to gather some gear.
Okay. Wait. So you
I would
want
like.
to send a message to someone who wants to physically see you?
I'll go see her right quick. I'm sure she'll understand.
All right. So,
Also tag along to go see Tia.
all right. Wunderbar. So
I
your
want to make note
party.
that I'm eating a jelly donut on the way.
Ew. I don't know what the fuck that was. No. Sorry, something totally different happened. Okay, so you enter Tia's office and she's sitting in a pot. She's essentially under a pile of paperwork that she has to fill out. That is essentially an incident report and the write up of all the ore that Booley took. She notices for the first thing she notices is that you, Vesden, have now received your aquamarine stone. She congratulates you and she tells you that you should go to the jeweler to create your manacle so you can truly attune with your stone and enhance your general rogue slash shadow powers. As for you, Bully, she looks at you and she give me a perception check for Tia.
Active or passive?
I'm gonna need you to be. Actually, no, I'll take. You always ask this. I'll never take your passive.
No, you don't. Even though technically I'm not supposed to perceive lower than my passive, I still
Sir,
ask.
your passive is 33.
My passive is 20.
Exactly.
Sir, the
That's what
natural.
passive is like if you're like doing something else, just things you notice as you're like if you're like running away, like things you notice as you were running away.
I'm
Bully never
supposed to be
runs.
listening to a lecture, aren't I?
Huh?
I said I'm supposed to be listening to a lecture, not actively investigating her, aren't I?
No, well, this one you're going to want to. But you do
Oh,
get
okay.
advantage on this.
Da, 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 da. It's a good thing I got advantage. About hurt my soul. I need this other road to come through. Quit lagging. Nat 20, let's go! This is only 25.
See, that was definitely higher than 20. You notice in her eye that she has a look of disgust towards you specifically. And she says, Minotaur, I said that you could
Oh,
take
baby.
all the ore that you could carry. That was part of the agreement, and I am an elf of my word. However, I did not say you could take the stones.
What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner.
She looks at you with a look of genuine disgust, and she says, I need you to either return the stones or you can work for them to see if you can truly take them.
Do you know what I just killed in the bottom of that cave?
She looks at you and she taps her desk and screens appear all around you showing a review of your battle. And she says, I know what almost killed you.
But I survived. And I got your children out.
Yes, that's why you keep the ore. If you want the stones, that is a different conversation.
Alright,
Tabletop.
I'm gonna
Wait, what
entertain
stones are we?
this
What
and
stones are we
tell
referring
me
to?
what exactly you would like me to do.
She sits at her desk and she kind of tenses her fingers in front of her face. And she puts on a pair of glasses, tenses her hands, and tilts her head. And her glasses somehow reflect and reflect the sun, essentially creating a lens glare on her glasses.
Wait a minute. I've seen this anime before. I'm not gonna rub your feet.
Death. She looks at you. She says, "I believe there are some deeds that need to be accomplished around the village. If you can do those tasks, then we can discuss you taking the 5 stones you took."
Yes, because I would very much like to create the thing that I would like to create. I also need to go to the store. So, what are these tasks? In order of importance, please.
Well, we do need a river rerouted, and we need the fields tilled. And this is the most important one. We have a tradition. This is actually the week of our village's establishing of our village. And some of the actors, unfortunately, fell ill and cannot make it. We need replacements. If your group would like to participate, that would definitely make things a little better and for you in your request.
I cannot speak on behalf of my group, but I can participate in the play. I'm not the best actor, but I'm willing to try. As for rerouting a whole river, I'll do it, but I better be able to keep my stones afterward, because that's a lot of work. And I'll tilt the field regardless.
Vaz just kind of stands against the wall and is like, I thought these tasks were just for Blue Lee. I didn't realize you needed all of us for that.
She looks at you and she says, "Well, of course, you are welcome to not participate. You are one of our people, but the rest of your group, we would like your help. But truly, these tasks are for the Minotaur. He knows what his kind has done."
Oh, that's what this is about. You know what? I ain't even tripping. I got y'all.
So at this point, Tia looks to you, Vesden, and she tells you the location of the jeweler who can create the manacle for you to truly engage with your new powers. Um,
Oh, I have
yeah,
one last request, Miss Tia.
yes.
Um, Before I go gear shopping and set off on these tasks, do you mind if I find a quiet place to, go pray and meditate right quick?
She she looks at you very confused, and with the raised eyebrow, she says that and she gestures to the left, that there's an empty room that's used for prayer to her left that you can use. But she's very kind of skeptical at the fact that any of your kind pray to anything other than yourselves and your masters.
Thank you, Miss Tia. I'm gonna head off toward that room she gestured at, and I'm going to start to do that.
All right. So, um, actually, Bully, what kind of prayer are you doing?
So unironically, I'm praying to my inner self to help me maintain strength, but not in a traditional sense, just strength of peace. So I can keep a check over my emotions as I go throughout today's day.
Okay.
You know, it's like self meditation in a way. So fun fact: in real life mixed martial arts, we always started off with self meditation to get control over our emotions to help focus our fighting. It's like that.
All right. I like it. So at that point, Tia, before any of you leaves, she does reach into her desk and she throws a bag of 8,000 gold pieces onto the table. And she says, "This is for finding children. Use it for whatever you wish. Split it amongst yourselves. It matters not to me."
How much gold did you say?
8,000 gold pieces to split between the 4 of you.
Ooh.
Okay, well, you guys can keep my share. I've gotten my payment.
All right.
I just kind of looks at the gold and is just like, don't mind if I do. And yeah, take the gold. I take all the gold. And I just keep it and split it with Giselle and like,
How much would Aneki know about whatever is going on with this lady and like her thing against minotaurs?
You wouldn't know any of it yet.
Tia's part elf, right?
No, Tia's full elf.
Oh yeah.
wait, is Tia just a normal? Is she a normal variety of elf, or is she?
Well, she's a wood elf to be specific.
Okay then.
Yeah, she is of Fey and Elven descent.
Okay, we're cool then. Even though I'm a dark elf, a drow.
Yeah, elves gotta stick
I
together.
know I know that Bully has left the room. I don't know if I can like retroactively try and just like roll to see if I got a read on how Oneki feels like she should handle this like socially. Because I feel like Oneki, I think like the thing is like if this had been about Bully being Bully, Oneki would have been like, yeah, I understand that some people just have a problem with Bully, but like the fact that she mentioned like the Minotaur thing has Oneki just like, I don't know that I like this social interaction.
So be hmm, I don't think you can retroactively do. This is more of a situation where it's a bunch of awkward silence at this
That's
point.
fair. Okay, so I'm actually going to go find Bully.
So so as you leave the room, Tia does mention that Gidget, the fairy dragonborn, is over the reenactment this year. So you're gonna need to talk to him.
Oneki, like Oneki, like acknowledges this, but I think we're usually like you're used to Oneki being very kind of like the group is used to Oneki being a very kind of like warm, conscientious, like very kind of open interactor when she's talking to people. You can tell that she's kind of uncomfortable. And so she like just acknowledges it with a nod and immediately leaves without like saying anything else to Tia.
All right.
And Beth is gonna. Would I notice this? How Mackey's acting strangely.
You can give me a perception check for it to just to see if you would notice it.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to. We're gonna figure out how I'm gonna do this perception check. So I am trying to get my computer going.
I be boo.
What's my modifier? Because I might roll. I might roll in the roll real quick in
Perception is
character sheet.
wisdom.
Yeah, I just don't remember my modifier off the top of my head.
You need me to roll for you?
Yo, that would be amazing. Yeah, just roll for me. Yeah, go ahead and roll for me.
All right, I got you. Oh, dude, you got a +8 to perception. What in tarnation? All right, so you got a 26. You definitely noticed that Oneki is
That's what
definitely
I gotta
not her
notice, man.
usual bubbly self, and you were definitely focused in on her and how she's acting right now.
Good to know. Okay, I think now that the conversation's finished, I'm gonna follow Oneki.
All
I'm
right.
gonna leave with Oneki, and then as we're walking, I'm gonna say, "Hey, are you okay?" Gave us kind of weird vibes in there.
I don't I don't know. Like Bully took the kind of like Minotaur comment on the chin, and so I didn't feel like I should step in because like I don't know what her problem is with Minotaurs, but like like I'm sure if there's a reason that's fine, but like I just don't like those kind of interactions with anyone. And like I'm used to being kind of like in a position where my family are like kind of nobility and I have like the social training to step into uncomfortable situations like that and kind of redirect things. And I think I'm just coming to terms with like I don't know what this situation is. I don't have any knowledge about this particular social situation, and also I don't have the power I used to like step
Maybe
in and like make interactions easier for other people.
Vez kind of just sits with that for a few seconds just to like, kind of process everything Oneki just relayed, and then just kind of after thinking about it for a little bit, it's just kind of like, well, it seems like I feel like she is pretty friendly with other elves. Maybe I could ask her what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Bully wants us to do, if he wants us to do anything, but I would feel better able to navigate this if I had some idea of what was going on.
To be honest, Bluey seems pretty chill as long as he's getting the ore he found, the gems.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he just
But
started therapy, and
I can
we like
ask
we want to,
just to find out.
yeah, like I just don't want anything to derail it for him. You know, like he seems really determined to like control his anger issues and like be better about interacting with people, and it will make this thing so much easier if we are not worried about him like threatening everyone, but also like just for the sake of Bully being happier with himself. I'd love to just make sure that nothing happens that derails that progress.
I'll go talk with Tia for a little bit. I won't try and press too much, but I'll at least see if she's open to talk about it.
Uh, Oneki smiles and on impulse reaches forward and like hugs Vez. And then I get the feeling that Vez is not a very touchy feely person. So I think
That's
that
gonna like oh go ahead.
like immediately like she's going to like remove her hands and be like, "Oh, sorry, sorry, I didn't mean to invade your personal
Vez
space."
Vez is just gonna like lean back a little bit, almost like somebody who got like blindsided by a hug. But then I'm gonna like pat you on the shoulder and say, "No, it's fine. I feel like it's okay. It's all good." And then Vez is gonna go back in to have that conversation with Tia.
All right. So we're gonna actually talk to we're actually gonna let um Oneki try to talk to Buli before Vez gets the little tea from Tia. So Nick, you walk into the room that Bully is in. Bully, how do you pray? How do you recenter yourself in who you are in a moment like this?
Bully is currently on his knees with his eyes closed, deep in thought, but upon sensing that Oneki has entered the room, he asks her how she's doing, if she needs something.
No, I don't know. Things just felt. I just wanted to keep you company, Bully. If that's not going to get in the way of your meditation.
No, I enjoy company. Things are always better with people you care about. This I've come to know.
That's that's really good. I know that you've been, talking to a therapist when you can, and I'm really proud of you, if that's okay for me to say, for like doing that for yourself. Like, I'm really proud of you for like working towards your goals that way. And I think as she's talking, Oneki like pulls the war drum out from behind her and literally just places it on the floor as a drum and starts to like tap a very like small beat, and she's just kind of using it to have something to do as she's trying to get through this conversation. And she's just like, sometimes when I need to think, I find that having something like a drum beat helps, but I can definitely stop this if you'd rather have complete silence. I don't know how the meditation
It
should look.
helps. It's nice to be recognized in my efforts to live a more peaceful life, especially when this is something that would normally bring my kind shame. Do you know of the history of minotaurs?
I don't, but if you're okay with sharing, I would love to know more, for sure.
what the regular humans would call demons or even devils, our bloodline, our lineage goes all the way back to one particular powerful god amongst the demons and devils. We are his direct spawn, so to say. When we came to this plane of creation, we came with a wild and feral instinct, with nothing able to hold us back. Um, it's been a while. You might remember that I once said that I enjoy eating the hearts of those I defeat in combat because that's a tradition in my village. However, when it came to dwarves, gnomes, and elves, I gave other recipes such as, the rib cage. Back in our more wilder days and our first appearance on this plane, we would ransack and raid any cities, civilizations, anything we came across, which were mostly elven and human civilizations. They were the only big ones back in the day. So
Hmm.
we'd ransack and pillage, eat them, enslave them, breed them, whatever came to our minds to do. We were powerful. Who were going to stop us? It
Hmm.
took hundreds of years for us to learn how to get along with our newfound neighbors. We needed to carve a place out on our own. And we learned that over time, war is not as productive as we thought. We learned to quell our violent natures for, let's say, personal gain. And
Hmm.
while our natures still remain deep in each and every single one of us, the damage that we have caused to other races, it's it's significant, and some folks just have not forgot. And while sure we could be offended, or we could say that that was in the past, it's not a big deal anymore, some people probably still feel those effects. So when people look at me strange or funny or with fear because I'm a giant 7 foot half minotaur, I understand. Even if I've done nothing wrong, I understand. And it's not my place to dictate how they feel. I just have to kind of accept it and do better. And I hope one day people see me more than just the minotaur that I am.
That's that's a very nuanced take on it, Bully. Like that's actually very mature of you in attitude. And I don't I don't quite have the political power that I used to, but I'm still a pretty good talker. So if it ever feels like you're in a situation where like someone is pushing your buttons and it feels like, like they're pushing you a little bit too hard and if I'm not there already, like feel free to like tag me in and I'll like step in and like redirect cuz I I want you to be able to like live the life that you want. And I know that sometimes you need the space to make good choices in order to make good choices, you know? If no one's giving you the space to make them, you
I
can
have come
backtrack.
to love you as one of my own family members, and I deeply mean that. But I also know I seemingly have every excuse in the world to be violent and murderous. But my therapist says in order to be who I want to be, I must understand who I was and how that affects me getting to where I want to go. And I know that giving in to my inner my inner desires is not going to help me be that person I want to be. Every day is a struggle. Every day is a fight. Everything feels foreign to me. But with people like you to look up to and think about the actions you would take versus the actions I tend to think of first, it helps me keep balance. I'll get there in time.
You'll get there. And like, I can't fight your battles for you, but I'll always fight them beside you, if that helps.
That's more than I could ever ask for.
And Noneki just keeps doing the drum beat so he can meditate.
All right. So, Vesden, Tia has gone back to doing paperwork, essentially drowning in paperwork after the incident. What do you want to do?
Well, before that, that was damn. That was an off table talk, exceedingly wholesome moment that just occurred. Damn,
Wholesome
just
moments.
brief acknowledgement. But I think Vez is gonna lightly knock on the door and just see if Tia's has is open to him coming in, just to make sure, just to be extra polite.
From the other side of the door, you can hear, "Come in, Veston. Take a seat."
Levin just kind of walks in and sits down, just like, "Hey, yeah, I don't know if I was misreading things, but it seemed like there was a an unusual amount of tension between you and Bruli, our Minotaur compatriot. I'm not really from around here, so I don't really. I'm also I wasn't really born in this continent, so I'm not this area of the Nua Vernatu, so I'm not really keen on the a lot of the nuance and stuff.
She puts down her writing utensil and she flashes her manacle, and you can tell by looking at it that what was once a nice sterling silver has been tarnished and faded and battle hardened. But you can see that she has an emerald in it. And she says, "You, I, we, she, I never explained to you what these manacles truly mean to us, did I?"
No, I don't think so. And then Beson's gonna have his well, his gem that's gonna be for his manifold. I'm just gonna kind of have it in his hand looking at it almost
See,
curiously.
long, long ago, we, when the gods brought us to Nua Vernatu and we were able to be released from the Ark, we were persecuted because the creature that caused all of this was a Fae. And all those who were descended of Fae were essentially harassed and abused just for being of Fae descent. And there was a group who took a very tyrannical and sadistic joy of hurting us and killing us, and she takes a deep breath and she gets up from her desk and she stands at the window looking, just staring into the void, and she says, "Your compatriot, your comrade, he's one of those people. It was a whole village started by a hero. It was designed to help Nua Vernatu in times of need, where there would be a legion of soldiers who could defend us like no others, because the gods decided that they would not interact with us to help if we needed it. And we needed a guard to help. And sure, everything was fine at first, and everything was great. They helped. If there were disasters, they would be the first there. They would be the first people there to provide aid, to rebuild. But then over the years, they just started hunting fae and fairy folk alike. And when the founders of this village escaped their masters and killed them, that village was the first to try to hunt them down. And when the founders got to this area, it was linked to the Feywild, and it gave them a burst of energy that the people hunting them couldn't win. They died. They essentially killed all of the hunters, and there was an uneasy peace agreement where we wouldn't do anything to affect those around us, and they wouldn't hunt us down like dogs. And your friend is one of them. So I say not as his kind, as in he's a minotaur. I say it because he's one of them who hunted us for sports and for fun. And just having him here, yes, I didn't notice yesterday. I was honestly drowning and overworked. I didn't notice his mask or his cloak. But after taking a good look at him, I having him here, isn't the best thing for my people, but he did do us a, a favor by finding the children and helping you destroy the Nuclevi. So, on my honor, he is allowed to stay here for as long as he wants. But if he wants to take the stones and him taking them away from here, he could take them to his village. They could find some way to counteract the Feywild magic here and just kill us all. I'm taking a big risk by even letting him get near any of those stones and not killing him now. But I sense
Can I
some good
can
in
I
him.
can I interrupt like literally as you say that and like have me burst into the room?
Yes.
Thank you. How dare you speak such wild accusations against Bully to accuse the very same person who saved your people of trying to come back and kill you? That is low down. My trust seems to be very misplaced sometimes, but in Bully it is not. How can you even sit there and think such things?
She turns around slowly and she looks at you and she really takes in your face and your garb. And she says, "You speak of trust, but didn't the cultists who currently try to take over this country come from your land?"
From my land, that much I am still unsure of. All I know is that they followed behind the creed that has been since dismantled under my name. The creed that was taken from my people no longer stands. And there are other things that actually matter, like bonds, like brotherhood, like family. But what are you to say about that?
She looks at you and she actually starts to walk over to you and she looks at you eye to eye. And she says, "How about you participate in today's reenactment and you can learn from the elders about what brotherhood can lead to."
I kind of snarl at her and just kind of walk away.
So Vez stands up and kind of like I put my hand on Yazel's shoulder and I just think I think we should kind of take care of some things.
All right. So
So
at this point, what would your party do? Um, Now that Vesden, my brain is fuzzy. Vesden and Yizel have learned that Bully's village essentially hunted Faye for sports, and Oneki and Bully think that Tia is mad at Bully for being a Minotaur. What would your party like to do now?
I think I'd try and find Oneki and Buli and relay this information back to them.
I think
If
that
we
would be.
finished meditating, I might be looking for Gidget. So I'm either in the room with Bully or I'm looking for Gidget.
All right.
I'd say we should just now be finishing up because I think my conversation with Oneki would really help expedite the meditation process. So we could casually, just exit the room that we were in. It was just off to the left, was it not?
Yes.
So I think Oneki and I would just casually exit the room and see everybody standing around.
All right.
Vez, Bully was telling me about the I glance at Bully about the history of Minotaurs. So I don't think I actually needed you to talk to Tia, but thank you.
History of turns. I just kind of turn. I say, what does that have to do with how Tia was reacting?
I would now. It could be a couple things, but to those who don't know the history of Minotaurs, We come from what you would call demons or devils. And when we first got to these lands, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, that's how we behaved, raiding, pillaging, conquering elves, humans, anything that stood in our way. And we've had quite an impact on many different cultures, and dare I say, largely a negative one, as, a species is concerned. So if there's animosity toward me because of my Minotaur heritage, I understand and I accept that animosity. That's something I cannot help, but I can try to make the situation better as each day goes by.
That's just kind of like, um, I think there's a misunderstanding here, and I just kind of relay what Tia told me about how Booley's village was hunting the Fae for sport because of hunting the descendants of the Fae for sport because of what the how the Fae contributed to the the relocation of all these people to Nua Vernatu and such. And I just relay that the pretty much that entire conversation back to Booley and Oneki. And then I'm like, so that's the actual that's the real reason why Tia's were
Oh,
just wary of you.
that's much more specific than the whole Minotaur thing, unfortunately. That that's
Um,
probably going to be a lot of bad blood. We might want to change your
so
coat, Bully.
I do not mean to cause the residents here further discomfort by my presence, so I will definitely change out of this garb. And as for you, Miss Tia, I offer my apology. I could offer you a point of view if you would like to hear it, but if not, I shall continue on to our agreed upon things. The decision is yours.
She looks at you and she takes a seat at her desk and she looks at you. She says, "You did my village a great service. I try not to be a closed minded individual, and that is very difficult. So please tell me your point of view."
Miss Tia, I come from one of the founding clans of my village. As you have made been aware, we were founded by one of the ancient great heroes of Nua Vernatu. Our original purpose was to safeguard the land, as you put. And as far as the people in the village knows, every mission we were sent on, every hunt we were sent on, was to keep the security of New Vanatu as a whole intact. We never questioned our orders because we were not raised that way. However, that is not an acceptable excuse. I am sorry for the harm that my people, my village, have caused you. Somewhere along the line, we have strayed away from our once noble cause. And if I'm even more honest with you, I don't remember the last time I even laid eyes upon my village. Seems today as if I'm working for everything but the village. But nevertheless, I've caused you distress, and now I humbly bow.
She looks flabbergasted at your display and she stands up and she walks over to you and she reaches out a hand to shake. She says to you, "If you truly are making any form of attempt to be better, who am I to stop you? If
I would
you,
like to shake her hands.
yes, if you would like to stay and help the village and prove that you are worthy of the stones, then who am I to stop you?"
It would be my honor.
And she kind of grips your hand a little harder than a normal handshake, and she whispers to you, "But let it be known, if they fall into the wrong hands, I will find you."
As warrior to warrior, I understand. and I would expect nothing less.
She lets go and she says, I think you might want to deal with the river first. That seems like it may be the longer of the three tasks.
Which direction is this river in?
Just follow the noise. It is a very unique river.
I will go to the store, pick up my supplies, and I will make way for this river immediately. Thank you, Miss Longbottom.
Vez kind of sighs and is like, I might not be much help with redirecting a river, but I can try and see what I can do.
I have a question, Table Salt.
Yeah.
So, Miss Tia, is her bottom actually long, or is it just a name?
It's just a name. One of her ancestors were definitely had a tail and would technically be a long bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what kind of bottom it's referring to. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll get on the festival acting thing. I need to go find Gidget. Anyway.
All right.
As to why you actually wanted to really know that, but you know,
I mean,
I
who
think we
else?
all know why he wanted to know
We
that.
we all know why.
I know, but still, it's still terrifying.
I mean, who else but Quagmire?
Uh,
All right, Bully. We're gonna start with you and rerouting the river. There is a supply shop there. Things are pretty expensive there because in the village, most things are traded through um, deeds. Like, hey, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. So things are relatively expensive in the shop. What do you want to do?
I'm looking for a particular spice, soothing salts. I just want to know if they have it. It should be common and a byproduct of mining.
But
They.
actually, before
Mhm.
Wooly makes it over, I'm just gonna tell Wooly, I can meet you over at the river. I'll just go take care of this manacle stuff.
Thank you, friend.
All
You're
right.
welcome.
And what about you, Yisail? Are you trying to go? What are you doing with your day? Do you want to follow Buli to the river? Do you want to follow Neki to find Gidget? Or do you want to follow Vesden to get his bling bling on?
I'm gonna follow Bully because that whole interaction still left a sour taste in my mouth. So I'm gonna be following him because he's the homie, and I want to spend time with the homie because I care about him. But I'm never gonna actually openly admit that to him.
You damn right, you tsundere. All right, so Bully,
Man, you know what?
at the
Fuck you.
shop they do have the soothing salts. How much do you want? Because it's about 50 gold pieces a pound.
Uh, I'll need probably about 12 pounds of the stuff.
Okay,
What's 12 times 50?
I want to say 2,000.
Ooh, not quite that
Oh,
much.
600. I am. See, that's why I went into media and not math.
Yeah, I could give up 600 gold for that.
All right, so that's a easy exchange for you. What else do you need? What do you think you'll need to reroute the river?
Um, let's see. I should have. Let me make sure that I have the proper equipment for this. Do they have a shovel and or a
They
bucket?
do. That's about 100 gold pieces.
Shovel and a bucket. What if I trade them some pride silk?
Hmm. It depends what color.
Royal purple.
The
Cause
shopkeep does think that's a fair trade.
all right, I'm going to trade them the pride silk. I'm gonna trade them 1 square yard of it, so that's 1 pound of weight, and that's worth 100 GP according to his description.
Okay.
All right, so now that I have my shovel and bucket, can I see the river from where I'm at?
You so I, you know what? I will take your passive perception this time, and you're going
Okay.
to hear snoring. a very loud nasally snore coming from deep within the woods.
She said follow the sound, so I guess I'm going that direction.
All right. So you
So,
walk into the woods, and the snoring gets louder and louder, and the humidity in the area gets higher and higher. It's like you're walking through a bowl of soup. And as you reach the end of the woods, you see what appears to be a giant water elemental with a river coming out of its stomach.
oh, oh, this is what they meant. Well, I probably won't be needing a shovel unless I want to dig my own grave, but, all right. Water elemental asleep.
Yep. The water elemental is knocked the fuck out.
I want to roll an insight check right quick to see if I notice anything strange about it other than its size.
All right.
I got a 14.
So with the 14, you notice there's nothing strange about it other than the size. It appears to be a masculine presenting water elemental, and coming straight from the belly button is the river.
Mm, do I know if it speaks common or not?
You can try.
Um, yeah, I want to gently wake it up, specifically gently.
All right. So actually, how do you wake it up gently? How do you wake up something that's made of water producing water?
I take out my water bottle and splash water on it.
So if so you splash water on it, and it's a different shade of water. The water you throw on is darker than the crystal blue water that makes up the elemental, and it kind of swirls around it, and it shoots back at you, splashing you in the face. And the elemental wakes up and rubs their eyes with their hands, well, what appears to be their hands, and they look around, and then they look at you two, Ezel and Bully, and all you hear is a "What are you doing here?"
Hey, friendo, buddy, palo, guyo, do with the water? I've been asked, kindly and respectfully, if maybe you and I could go take a trip somewhere else? Because you're kind of creating a river that's making life hard for other people.
Give me a persuasion check.
Do 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 do. Persuasion. Oh,
You've been watching a
I-
lot of We Bear Bears lately because I'm noticing a trend tonight.
every time I think of Nick, I think of the We Bear Bear songs, and then I do the do thing.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Yizel, what about you? Do you want to help persuade the water elemental to move the fuck out the way?
Sure, I'll be nice this time and I'll try for some. Oh, there it is. Persuasion. Wait, did it work? Hello?
We can hear you.
No, not that. My D&D Beyond is being stupid.
Oh yeah, it definitely likes to do that.
There it go. Hey, I got a 17.
Also, I need you to give me a D6, by the way. A retroactive D6.
A retro, really a retroactive D6?
Yep.
Hey, it could be a good thing. Let's hope.
Right. Let's hope. There's no telling.
So you're going to gain 4 temporary hit points because the lump on your neck indicates that standing up for a bro is a nice thing to do.
I still have that thing.
Yes.
TBH, I haven't, like, to be quite honest, it hasn't been making much of a noise or, like, any kind of, like, whoop-de-whoop around on me, so, like, I haven't necessarily noticed.
You also haven't been as hostile as usual.
Well, to be fair, just Bully has kind of been rubbing off on me. As much as I want to be a menace of chaos and destruction, sometimes it did feel nice to be somewhat kind of nice.
Right. So you get 4 temporary hit points added to your bank for that.
Cool. And I got a 17 for the persuasion check. Let's see
So
how long those temporary hit points stay on me.
so the elemental kind of gets up and towers over the two of you, and you're getting drenched at this point. And the water elemental says, "What time is it?"
Can we see the sun?
Yes. And the position of the
How?
sun, it's about 11:30 a.m.
We're about a
So we tell. It's about lunchtime, friend.
And the water elemental stares you in your soul, just eye to eye, and does the Macaulay Culkin like hand slap to their face, like, "Oh no!" And they say, "Oh, I'm supposed to move! Oh no! Oh no!" And the water elemental shrinks down to the size of about a medium-sized creature and runs off to get in the position that they need to be in for that time of day.
All right, let's go.
what the fuck just happened?
We, my friend, just diverted a river like the tales of old, except for we did it without violence.
Yeah, I kind of expected violence.
Well, if he didn't, I'm gonna be honest with you. If he didn't move after the first chance of persuasion, I was gonna resort to violence. But the winds of fate, the winds of fate happen to be nice this time. So there we go.
All right.
All right,
So,
so we managed to divert the river.
mhm.
Um, the next thing that was on the to-do list, they wanted me to help with the play, and I think that's the other most important thing. So I'm gonna try to find Oneki and that little changeling boy.
All right. So from here, we're gonna jump over to Vesden, who is attempting to get a manacle made so he can tap into his new powers. Vesden, you walk into the. Let me pull up my sheet. You pull up to a nice small shop with a sign that reads "The Fourth Scepter" in Elven. And you enter the room. You enter the shop, and there's a small gnome and a fairy working the forges and singing a nice work tune. They haven't noticed that you've come in yet. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna walk and just kind of look around, just at normal volume, to say hello. Is anybody in here? Anybody working in here?
The fairy, who's carrying a comedically sized sledgehammer, drops it with a rattle and thud, and he flies over to you and he says, "Welcome to the Fourth Scepter. How can I help you?"
Oh, this is just gonna kind of hold out his aquamarine gem that he got and just say, I need a manacle.
Ah, okay. Do you have a preferred metal or
Um,
wood? Any type of manacle element, I would say.
I can pick the material that the manacle's made out of.
Of course, this is something you're going to wear for the rest of your life. You might as well pick something you like.
Oh, and it's just for aesthetics, right? No, there's not really. It's not nothing actual going to be used into materials.
Well, the material itself isn't magical, but the stone is. Did no one explain this to you, young man?
Oh, I was just like hold his hand up. I was like, I know this stone's magical. Huh. I guess a nice like silver color. Like silver is fine.
All right. Hold on. And the fairy zooms around your wrist, taking accurate measurements of your entire like forearms, um, structure, measurements, all that jazz. And he says, "Give us 5 minutes. You can sit down and read or color. We have coloring books." And he looks back and says, "Hun, we have coloring books, right?" And the gnome woman at the forge just holds a thumb up, like a single thumbs up, and goes back to forging a band. And so now you can sit down and color if you want, or just read a book, or just wait the 5 minutes for the small amount of time for the band to be made.
I think Vesta's gonna wait the 5 minutes, and I'll just do what I usually do when I'm bored, and I'll just take summon a shadow dagger in my hand, and just toss it into the air, and then kind of just jump, play catch with it.
All right. So after a short amount of time, the fairy calls you back, and you can see that the metal band it's a nice silver band, and it's waiting and has an indent for you to put your stone, and the fairy gestures for you to set your stone into the manacle.
Yeah, I just take my aquamarine stone, I just place it in there gently.
So as the gem touches the metal, your eyes go deep black, like sclera and iris, just all full black, like you're staring into the night sky. You find yourself in a black void. There's zero light. You can't even see in front of your hand. And then in the distance, you see a single star. And then it starts to multiply until what was an endless void of darkness is now space with infinite stars shining upon you. And you blink and you come back, and the silver manacle that was once just a plain silver bracelet is now ordained with intricate designs and sculptures, and the stone itself is pulsating. It's shining and pulsating to match your heartbeat, and it's calling for you to put it on. Do you wish to attune to this item?
I'm gonna attune to this item.
So at this point, you put on your wrist, and it's a little snug at first, but it moves with you, so it doesn't hinder any form of movement, like wrist movement. And you feel the night surge from within you. So now you get all the perks of your new band.
There are a lot of perks.
Yeah, the perks of being an elf in a world where everybody hates elves.
Mm.
So,
I try to
hmm?
I just kind of examine it and just look at the sculpture, just kind of slightly in awe. I tilt my head and say, "Thank you."
And the gnome and the fairy both give you a huge thumbs up, and they go back to work.
I guess
So,
at this point, I'm gonna
mhm.
pull out my communication device. I'm gonna call Boolean and say, "Are you guys still working on the river? I can help with the other tasks you have to do."
so Vezin, at this point, you try to call your group, and you notice in the corner of your eyes that there is a shadow spawn just staring at you, waiting for a command.
Just kind of stare at the shadow spawn and just tilt its head. I'm just like, I'm gonna guess you're coming from here, and I'm just gonna point at the manacle.
And at that point, it looks at the manacle, looks at you, and just puffs and disappears into like a slight shadowy mist.
Um, I'm gonna guess that's hopefully that comes in handy in the future. And I'm gonna go back to the phone and see if I can find out where Booley and Israel are.
So we're going to go to Oneki, who is looking for Gidget. She can see people setting up for a play. Oneki, do you wish to follow the people who are trying to set up for some type of reenactment or play?
Yeah.
So you follow them, and you see Gidget standing in the middle of like a bunch of elves and fae running around like chickens with their heads cut off. And he's holding what appears to be a slate, and he's constantly tapping it and sending out different spells. It looks like runes just dance off the pages and float and shoot across the yard to different people, essentially sending messages and commands and reports. And he looks at you, and you can see that he is a tired fairy dragon boy. And he's looking at you, and he says, "Oh my God, I'm glad you're here."
It seems like you maybe have a little too much on your plate, Gidget.
Yeah, this is yeah. And what makes it worse is that the bus to have the to transport the elders to the land of the dead is coming early. They're coming tomorrow, so that means this is the last time that they're gonna see the reenactment. It has to be the greatest thing ever.
Okay, I'm going to take Gidget by the shoulders and be like, let's go on a walk, because it looks like you need some fresh air. So, is there anyone who is helping you organize this?
There were, but they're sick, and yeah, the show must go on because the elders who are leaving, they have to see the show because it's gonna be the last time they'll see the show. It's a big thing, and this is my turn to finally do it. I've been asking for
As this is
forever.
happening, I'm like pushing him out of the doors and just like nodding and humming in response to his words.
And he, at this point, is starting to have a mild panic attack from all the stress.
Okay, okay, buddy, I want you to like look me in the eyes. We're gonna breathe together, okay? So I want you to match my breathing if you can. And I pull out the war drum again and I start to like tap my hand to it, like just creating like a soft beat I can breathe to. And I'm trying to like draw his breathing to match mine.
So I actually need for you to give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Nat one.
So, not one. Electricity begins to dance from the war drum, and all you see, well, at first you feel the texture of the drum, but then you start to feel something cold and wet and kind of rough.
I stop drumming and look at the drum.
And from the drum, you see Biscuits McGee staring up at you.
Like through a portal or through like a mirror?
Through the portal. You essentially opened up a portal, not noticing it, using the war drum.
Huh. Gidget, you want to meet a good boy?
Gidget looks very confused at you, and he looks at the drum, and all he sees is a golden retriever. Oh, wait, what breed did you guys decide Biscuits
Golden
McGee
retriever.
was?
Golden retriever.
A golden retriever staring up at him with his tongue out, panting very fast, and he's like, "Good boy, I'm a good boy, I'm a good boy. Who's a good boy? I'm a good boy. Yeah, I'm a good boy, good boy."
Has his breathing like has this surprise knocked the panic attack out of him?
Yes. What was
Yeah,
panic is now major confusion.
this is Biscuits McGee. He's a very good boy who's running a settlement that we've created. Hi, Biscuits. How's it going?
It's going good. You guys haven't asked for anything yet. What am I doing?
No, I'll get back to that on you, Biscuits McGee. I'm sorry, it's taken us so long to get back to you. We've had a little bit of a situation, but I will consult with the others and I'll make sure we send along the things that you need to get started.
I'm still the best mayor, right?
You're still the best mayor. Can I? We know that Biscuits McGee is good at organizing things, right?
Yes.
Is it possible for me to bring him through this portal and then send him back later?
I'm gonna say yes. You will have to roll an Arcana to send him back, though.
You know what? That's fine. We don't have anything for him to do at the settlement yet. So, like, if it takes me a while to send him back, that's okay. Biscuits, while we're waiting to start with the settlement plans, do you want to help plan a festival day?
Plan? Yes, yes.
Lots of plans. Lots of organizing.
And you can see his head disappears from the portal, and all you see are like little paws, little beans reaching up through the portals, trying to figure out how to like get through it, but he doesn't know how because he's still a dog.
Can I enlarge the portal at all to make it easier for him to come through, or even just like guide him through it?
So if you want with your war drum, what you can do is actually hit the ground with it, and it'll essentially create a portal from the shockwave of that.
Cool,
Put
I do
peanut
that.
butter on your hand.
Or peanut butter on your hand if you have it.
I'll for now I'll hit the war drum to the floor. Maybe next time we'll do the peanut butter play.
Peanut butter's always the answer. So you do that, and a small portal opens up connecting to the Feywild, and all of the Fey within the vicinity feel a surge of energy from their manacles, and they start going a little faster. Essentially, you just hit like a times two button for them by opening a portal directly to the Feywild. And out from the portal comes Biscuits McGee, whose tail is wagging, and noticeably he's grown a second tail.
Ah, biscuits. Does having two tails run in your family line?
Oh, this? Yeah, I went into the cloud because I thought I saw a squirrel. When I came back, I had two tails, but I can't catch them.
Got it. Maybe we avoid the clouds in the future. We don't know what's gonna happen the next time you go into them, huh?
But the squirrels.
I know, but it's very important that as the mayor of the settlement, you stay safe, right?
Yes.
Very good. Let's go plan that. So, Gidget, Biscuits McGee here is a fantastic planner. So we're going to help you delegate some of the tasks so that you're not quite as frazzled. And that's going to let us make a better festival. Because then you'll have time to eat and rest and drink water. And it will be a better performance because of that.
Yeah, water's good. Oh my god, with the river. Oh my god, did the water
No,
elemental
no, no.
move the river?
Fully's dealing with the river. Fully's dealing with the river.
Oh.
We've got it.
Okay. I'm good. I'm not good. And Gidget starts to like try to check for his pulse, and at first he can't feel it. And he looks at you, and then he starts to feel it again. He's like, "Okay, I'm alive. I'm good. I'm alive."
Okay. We're gonna, first of all, we're gonna take 5 minutes and sit out here, and you're gonna like breathe in air. And then after that, we're gonna head back in. We're gonna delegate some tasks, okay?
Okay, delegation. Delegation is good. Delegation is fine. I can trust people. Trusting people's fine.
Trusting people is fine, and it's good practice for when you're going to be the head of my spy network here.
Yeah, totally. He's
know
head
we're
of a spy
practicing-
net. Wait, what?
Yeah, didn't I tell you?
No, I thought I would remember that.
You're going to be my only contact here, so you're going to be, by definition, the head of the spy network in this village.
Oh, okay. Why?
Again,
Wait.
you're the only contact I have here.
Why are you
Like, I
doing that
have
in
other
dog voice?
contacts in other villages, but like any news that comes through here will be your responsibility. And like, if you have to delegate other people to help you with the spy network, you will be the senior officer of those people.
Oh, okay. Okay. Why do you need a spy network in multiple villages?
Oh, we're
Wait.
being hunted down by like a thing. There's a lot of things going on. There's like several armed conflicts. I'm wanted by several people. Also, I'm trying to find someone, but that's kind of, as much as that is a primary concern to me, it's kind of a secondary concern to the group at large.
I have a question. Just table talk real quick. Is this character talking to the dog or to like Gidget?
Gidget.
Get it?
All right, because I know you explained this to Gidget before. I remember that. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but Gidget does remember. He's freaking out right now.
Oh yeah, panic.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Oneki kind of just threw some stuff on a burning fire that was already on fire,
I want to try. I want to try and kind of lace my magic into my voice, and I want to try and like bump up Gidget's, I don't know, like self-esteem. Like I very literally want to give him bardic inspiration.
Okay. So you want to try to just help him refocus and okay, cool. Yeah, that can work. So what
Do
we
I
can
roll?
do instead is, instead of wasting a bardic inspiration, what we can do instead is a performance check
Cool.
with a DC 15.
Okay, DC 15.
Yeah.
Oh baby, that is a 21.
So you calm him down and you reassure him that everything's going to be okay. Delegation's key. Biscuits is the dog. And everything's going to be fine. So at this point, Gidget's calm again. He's kind of putting the fact that he's now essentially a spy master into the back of his head, because that's a conversation for later. That when he's in a better state of mind, where the first time it was brought up, he thought he was going to die, and second time he thought he was going to die for a different reason. So he wants to talk about it when he isn't feeling like he's going to die.
Hmm.
So that's neither here nor there. That's for later. So yes, so Gidget does calm down, and he's essentially ready to go back to work, setting up for the play. He still needs 4 actors, though, for the final scene where the founders defeat the evil hunters to establish peace within the village.
Well, I will be one of them for sure. Um, I send out a quick message on the stones to everyone, and I'm just like, I need 3 more actors. Please.
I want to ask what the roles are, because like I'm gonna act, but I want to like see if I can RSVP a role.
I asked Gidget what the roles are.
So he says that at this point, the the final roles are for a gnome by the name of Zinok,
Hmm.
a changeling by the name of Ucky, and 2 elves by the names of Nyan and Kriya.
I want to role play the gnome. That's my takes back.
All right. All right. So let me write down Zanak the gnome, Kriya the elf, Nyan, another elf, and a, what did I say before? A gnome, 2 elves, and a changeling.
Hmm.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, another question.
Yes.
This is a group chat text, right? Or
Yep.
this is group.
Yeah, I'll say it's a group chat.
Okay, cool. I also want to drop a meme just because I can.
Give me give me a performance check to see how dank it is. Because if it's not dank, you will take psychic damage.
Hang on, that was perception. I want performance.
That's kind of fucked up though.
Oh, come on. I know you posted some weak shit and everybody roasted you for it.
I
I
got
can't
14.
relate. I don't know about you.
Shit.
Is decent.
All right, the meme is decent. It's not hot fire, but it's okay. You won't get roasted for it.
Woo!
All right. So we have Bully playing the role of Zanak the elf. I mean the gnome. What about the rest of you? Whoever else wants to participate in the reenactment? Who else would like to be? You gotta be an elf, or a changeling.
I'm good taking the last character on the table. Like, I'll play any of them.
Okay. Vez and Giselle, would you like to help with the reenactment? To help a poor dying child?
Is the child dying?
I mean,
ain't
Gidget's
gonna
emotionally
say
dying.
no. I ain't gonna say nothing for fear of this whatever actually thinking that I have malicious intent. I'm just gonna say I'll work security.
Okay. So, at this point, we're gonna go back to Bully and Giselle and Vesnin, who are now in the middle of tilling a field. Now, the
All
ground
right.
here isn't naturally suited for growing anything because they have to infuse it with magic to get a single sprout to, grow. So, doing this will cause a level of exhaustion because it's essentially sapping magical energy from you while you work.
Um. So I have an idea.
Yeah.
Um, Yazel. I'll need your help.
Yo, what's up? Talk to me.
Yazel, you see that plow over there that's meant to be pulled by oxen?
Absolutely. What's up with it?
I need you to hook me up to it.
Oh Lord, what are you planning to do?
Well, I'm gonna plow the field while my Echo, quote unquote, drives the plow. This helps me train my strength, but it also helps me learn, mounted combat stuff because I'm a bit rusty, and it's all about multitasking.
I mean, I guess, but like
My
that
Echo
just
only has one horse, so I need somebody with dexterity, hands and thumbs preferred.
I guess so, man.
I mean,
Okay.
Vesden is also on the way to the field, and the rogue might be a little more dexterous than the magic man.
All right, if you say so.
But it's up to y'all.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Bet.
I'm
All right.
still
Just save
kind
me
of,
from
still kind of weary, but I'll do it.
It'll pay off when one day I'm pulling a chariot and we're like all riding into battle in glorious fashion.
Alrighty.
All right. Mm-hmm.
So, do I need to roll anything or help in
So
any
I'm
way?
actually going to have you do athletics and Yzel to, because the DC for this will combined will be 25. So Yzel, you'll be doing dexterity to kind of aim the bullet, will aim the cannon, and bully. Actually, no. You'll be doing animal handling because you do have that. So the combined DC will be 25 to till the field. Um, Bully, you'll be doing strength, or you'll be doing an athletics check, and Yizel, you'll do animal handling for a combined 25.
I roll with advantage on athletics, so let me get that out the way.
Oh no, that's
Oh no.
crazy.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we got a 21 for the first athletics. So now you just
Nice.
have to roll at least four to make sure you guys don't die trying to,
I thought he
do shit.
rolled with advantage.
Oh
Yeah.
no, he did. But the DC 25. Oh, I see. You rolled a 9. My bad. So yeah, you passed the first check.
Yeah.
So you do get 3 rows done very quickly, and the other elves who are working the fields kind of look at you two, very confused as to why a giant minotaur is being pulled by a normal sized creature like an ox to a farmer. But it's fine. Let's roll again and see. This time we're gonna go to 30 for the DC. This ground is a little more difficult to work with.
Still need animal handling? Oh
Yep.
god. With athletic. Oh god. You
So,
know what?
Bully, I need to give me a D10.
All right.
And Ezel, I need you to also give me a D10.
Oh no, that's a D100. Not bad.
Whoa! Do you even have one?
5.
All right. So,
4.
what you just rolled is the damage you're going to take from that. You guys said you guys kind of fucking whiffed that whole interaction.
Oh no, our table. It's broken.
Oh
I guess
no.
I'll just have to do it again.
Let's try it again. The DC, because you've already tilted halfway, we're going to take it back to 25.
All right, so I got a 22.
All right, so Ezel needs to roll at
20.
least. Oh shit!
Yeah, well total
Bam! Yo,
6.
the
I
ground
got
fucking killed it. So let's run it back. This is the last set you have to roll before you take the level of exhaustion.
of course.
Okay.
All right, the DC this time will be 30.
Alrighty. Go ahead, bro.
Give me just a sec.
Bring us
Got me
home.
30.
All right, we got
I
a
have a
20.
20.
You got to roll 10, Yuzu.
I need a leak to. Bruh.
Give me a D10.
Bruh.
Bruh.
And I get inspiration because we've been doing such good work.
You know what? Yeah. You
Yeah.
feel inspired to try again. So you do get advance on your animal handling to boost your boy up.
Oh
Hey.
God.
And with that 21, you guys fucking flow through that field like butter. The ground is toiled. It's perfect, and the other elves are now setting the seeds in and using mold earth to cover everything back up. And you see the water elemental in the distance has moved into position to create a new river that will feed into the fields to water everything accordingly. Because you
Question.
guys woke up the river, so the river wouldn't be late for work.
Am I watching the elves weave their magic?
Yes.
I'll roll the insight check right quick. I have a 16, and that's just so, I can take notes of their movements and their footing with their spell casting later.
So the way they spellcast, it's exact. So remember the dragonborn lady from the city and how she would use special movements, almost like a martial art, to mold the earth, where each movement she used would create runes from her points of contact that would essentially rewrite the earth into whatever she needed.
What you mean,
Hmm.
Dragonborn? So you're telling me about the Dragonborn Earthbender, essentially?
I mean, more or less, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So that's essentially what they're doing. Like, Bully, you've seen spellcasters. You've seen the way they force the weave to their whim. But the way they're doing it, they're working with the magic and they're working with the magic of Nua Vernatu. Not bending it to their will, not forcing it. They're working with it, readjusting it to their needs and to the magic's need, where everything works in perfect harmony. And this type of spellcasting is brand new to you because all you've known is forcing the world to what it needs you to be, not working with it to where it works for both of you.
This has piqued my interest. Can I try to tune into this nature a little bit more by making a nature check?
Yes, you can, my boy. You know,
I
okay.
have a 19.
So you begin to feel. Actually, describe how you attune to nature.
watching watching the elves move their feeding in their hands in a way as to inscribe runes in the earth to help them spell cast. I almost hyper focus on each one individually for a span of 1 to 2 seconds, and I begin to listen intently to the sounds of their feet sliding into the dirt. And as I become more aware of them moving with nature, I become hyper aware of things like the breeze or leaves rustling in the trees, and I begin to actually inhale the scent of grass that I've always realized were there, but kind of always just ignored.
Okay,
So it's
so
almost as if I'm having a miniature awakening, so to speak, of the nature energy that's around me.
with that, with your deep whiff of the grass below, you begin to feel a burning in the small of your back. It's not like a I'm on fire burning. It's more like a gentle warmth, and you hear chirping, but it's not the chirping of a bird or a basilisk. It's a sound you've never heard before, but you know for a fact it's not external.
I look over to Ezel and I say, I feel really good about what we've done today.
So,
You
I
know,
yeah,
it actually has been a pretty good day, all in all.
and Bully,
Mm-hmm.
do you have your bag on you?
Yes.
Would you say with your passive perception, you would notice the exact weight of the items in your bag at all times?
Yes.
Would you say you would notice like maybe something that's maybe half an ounce added to your bag?
Yes.
Okay, just want to know.
Okay.
So at this point, the tilling is done, and all that's left is to help with the reenactment.
I would like to text Oneki and see if they could forward me, my lines or whatever, so I can start reciting them on my way to the play area.
All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the level of exhaustion for the two of you boys,
Okay.
the rowdy rough boys. Yeah. All right. So you make it to the square where you start seeing um a bunch of very, very, very old elves lined up on what appeared to be floating chairs, and a bunch of children who were really excited to see an amazing show. You see Biscuits McGee with what appears to be a headset on his head, just like barking orders at people, and both tails wagging, and the children are very confused as to why a dog is in charge at this point.
It'd be like that.
So, you find Gidget, Oneki, and Vesden backstage, and they are well. You see Gidget, and you can tell he was very tired and stressed before. Just having Biscuits McGee there has been a weight off his shoulders. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aneki is like just going around checking people's costumes, just like thriving in the chaotic energy of a performance specifically. Like this is where Oneki is at her like most comfortable.
Is there a table with tea and or coffee?
There is. There is, in fact, a what's the word? Not snack bar. I don't feel like talking about work. Yes, there is a snack bar.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over there and fix myself a beverage, but I'm gonna add some suba leaf to it,
Okay.
and that's gonna reduce my exhaustion level by 2
All right.
instead of 1.
I think Vez since what's it called? Since I'm on security, I'm going to try and find a spot I can have like a good vantage point of the entire show, but still be hidden.
Oh, my leaf only works during a long rest, not a short rest. I wonder if I can concentrate it somehow. Can I roll either an insight or a nature check to figure out if I can concentrate this leaf's effects somehow?
I'm. You know what? That's more of a medicine check to me.
That's more of a medicine check.
Yeah.
All right, well, it doesn't hurt to attempt.
Yeah, that's fair. Shoot your shot.
Hmm, I got an 8.
Yeah. No. No. Like in your attempt, you actually nullify any buff that leaf might give you.
Oh
I have strong
no!
rest for short rest, but it's only to do with like hit points and then exhaustion levels.
Now I just have
Can
regular leaf use.
I roll for stealth
Sure.
so I can look over the party? I'm gonna have to figure out how to do. I need to remember how to do this with advantage. Okay. Ooh.
Okay.
Well, I rolled a 16. I rolled really bad on this.
Zam. Oh damn, dude. You got a nat one. Okay. So you are stealthed up. What are you trying to do exactly?
I'm just trying to get like hide and have a good vantage point so I can like look over the party because I'm on security with Yaziel.
Okay. So at this point, the Gidget is casting magic to essentially. He's casting magic to make you look like the village founders. So, Bully, you go from being a towering minotaur to a tiny gnome in appearance, but not in physical. Well, actually, no. Physically, you are a gnome at this point. Like, you are no longer a giant gnome due to the effects of his magic.
I would like to go to wardrobe.
Okay.
I want my face patterned and my hair braided. I've got a performance.
Of course, sir. Let's see. And Gidget uses his manacle to weave the appearance of two of the founders. So, Oneki, which one of the founders would you like to be? Would you want to be one of the elves or the changeling?
I'll be the changeling.
All right. So you will be Lael the changeling.
Is my character that Bully's currently representing, is it masculine or feminine presenting?
Masculine presenting.
Interesting. Okay. Uh, do they have tiny gnome leotards?
You know what? Yes.
I don't know if that's appropriate for founding a village, but I was just curious.
They do have a leotard. This mad lad definitely the leotard, but they also really like spiked armor too. So it was a very stark contrast between the artsy leotard and the fact that they had spiked shoulder pads.
Spiked shoulder pads and spandex. Let's go.
Oneki,
Tiny
you
abs
go
out.
from a towering Goliath to a small changeling with very smooth features. They are not they're neither masculine or feminine features. They're just features at that point. Do you also want to try to go to wardrobe?
Yes, I will gladly go to wardrobe.
All right. So Lael mostly wore tunics. They were definitely known for their not they didn't really use battle armor at all. They were more of a if I die, I die, but I die for a cause type of creature. So they kind of didn't do a lot of armor.
Okay, yep. I will just wear whatever they give me.
All right. So now that Gidget has set the stage and he's using his powers to enhance the set that was made to make it more realistic and to cast spells on the crowd so they smell everything and feel the breeze. And the crowd goes wild as Gidget begins to spin the tale of how once the Nua Vernatans were freed from where their souls were freed from the ark, and the gods remolded their bodies from the earth. That Fey kind were subjected to harsh treatment for no reason, just for the fact of being Fey. They were spat on, they were abused, they were struck, they were thrown out of their homes for no reason. And for years, decades, centuries, they were mistreated. And at one point, a small colony had a good amount of elves and fae as slaves. And you can give me an insight check, everyone.
Before we continue, just know this history check that I got is to
Mhm.
recall my lines in the future.
Yes, actually, Bully, you're 21. You're also remembering a lot of your village's history and how they told you things went.
Mm-hmm.
So things are gonna get spicy later on.
That
So you're
works. You
also
said you wanted
remembering
to
your
get that
village's
check.
history and your history lessons from the people who made you a warmonger.
I accept this. You said you wanted an insight check?
Yes.
Okay. 25.
All right. So all of you with your insight checks get a charge of inspiration for your performances as Gidget narrates the story and the other actors play their roles expertly, like they've played them for years and years and years, repeating it every single day, every year. And you get a stroke of inspiration from that for your performance checks for when you go on stage. So when you're on stage for your scene, you will have advantage for everything you do.
I would also like to give Bully Bardic Inspiration.
All right.
So you can add a d8 if you need to, Bully.
Thank you.
And Gidget is narrating everything, and he's doing it wonderfully. And all the scenes of the enslavement and the abuse and the mistreatment, until we get to the scene of the four founding members plotting their escape. And we are going to have Oneki and Buli come to the stage as Gidget describes how Zanak was the first to have a plan to kill all of the enslavers and escape with as many elves and fae as they could to find a new life in a better part of the world.
Okay.
So this is me coming to stage.
Mm-hmm. That's you two hitting the stage with with the with essentially the unseen servants that are now seen due to Gidget's magic.
Got it.
All right,
Yep.
so I like to picture the scene is sit in like a log cabin at night by like a lantern or whatnot, and we're all sitting around a dinner table. The master or whatever thinks that we've gone to bed, and I'm sitting up behind the lamplight, like the old-fashioned kerosene lamp. And I'm like, listen, I figured out something about this place. It has, it has a connection to our homeland, and that connection, it allows us to fight. It allows us to fight well enough that we can hold back the attackers. The only thing we have to really do is overthrow our current overseers and get the word out to all the elven kind who are in the area. And I think we stand a chance. We might not be able to kill them, but we can make it so costly that they don't want to come and get us anymore. We'll live as free and as wild as we were meant to be.
And Kriya and Neon, who are twins, look at you, Zanak, and they nod in agreement. And they look to you, Lael, and they look for some form of reassurance. Because again, you're the one who's running gun. If I die, I die, but I die for a cause. So, Oneki, at the plan of killing the enslavers, what are you thinking?
Um, I didn't realize I'd have to decide how the story went. Um, if I die, I die, and I die for a good cause. I think I I think that Lennox's priority is the safety of the people. Um, so I think that Lennox is more cautious about this plan, but not necessarily out of a desire to not hurt the the enslavers, but more like he will kill people if he has to, or they will kill people if they have to, but their utmost priority is protecting as many of the like vulnerable population we have as possible. And so if there's any chance that this plan could lead to people being in danger, I think Lennox is just like we really need to think about like where we're going to move the vulnerable population, how to make sure that like they aren't threatened in order to like stop our rebellion and those kinds of things. So I think that they're coming at it from a very kind of like logistical defensive viewpoint.
All right. So, at this point, we get to the point where the four of you have killed all of the enslavers, but one who sends a message to a village of mercenaries with with cloaks of dark as night with blue clouds that line them, who all wear wooden masks adorned with special patterns. And for some reason, they've found a way to harness poisons in a way that any form of horn or spike that adorn their bodies never hurt them, but definitely hurt anyone that touch. And they in their final breath, have called for that village of mercenaries to come and kill the Fae, and they're on their way now.
Do I make the connection?
I would give me a history check because things are clicking.
Can I have advantage because I literally just learned
Yes.
this history?
Mm-hmm.
At that dirty 20.
All right. So things really click, and you look at Bully in his known form, and how do you feel at this point?
I don't know what to do. I think this has thrown Oneki off of her performance. She's just like, oh fuck, I don't know, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I have to manage this situation. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
And
So I think Oneki is panicking.
and Gidget notices this, and he calls for the curtains to close for a short intermission. And as the curtains close, he runs over to you, and his magic fades, revealing the giantess. And he looks up at you and says, "What's wrong? What's going on? You're not allowed to freak out. I'm allowed to freak out. You're not allowed to freak out. Why are we freaking out? Oh my god, why are we freaking out?"
Okay, no. Gidget, I need you to breathe with me. We both need to keep breathing. It does not help us if both of us are panicking. So we need to both calm down right now.
We would look at them both and just stroke his chin. I've never seen you act this way.
I don't. I actually am a little bit controlling over social situations, it turns out, and being so wildly out of my depth in controlling them is causing me to panic, it turns out.
You were Dom type.
Okay, no. We're. So. Ah. Bully. I just wanted to check the temperature with Bully. Are we. Actually, Gidget, could you just give us a quick rundown on how the next scene or so is going to play, so we know what we're getting into?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Uh, could you? I'm just asking Gidget to give us like a brief summary of how the next few scenes are going to play out.
So he takes a deep breath and he says, "Okay, so at this point, the founders take as many of the Fae as they can, and they run deeper into the woods to find the space where their magic is strongest. And the people in the blue cloaks come in and they destroy the original settlement, killing anyone who was left. And they start chasing the founders. And Neon dies, stopping three of them. But one of them is a minotaur. And he has very strangely carved horns. And he almost kills Kriya, but is stopped by Zanak, who channels his fire power and essentially incinerates the Minotaur. And the other cloaked figures engage in a battle, but they're pushed back by the power of the Feywild. And Gidget begins to scratch his scales because he's so stressed. He's kind of trying to recollect everything, and he reaches for a book, and it's a dusty book, and he flips through it, and he gets to the point of, and we get to the point that a younger Minotaur in the blue cloak comes and establishes a treaty saying that they won't mess with us if we don't mess with them or spread our magic to other parts of the world. And then we end the play there because that's all we had to cover.
Wait a minute. Give me just a sec. So I rolled what's 16 plus 8? That's 24, ain't it? I can't see because my
16
computer
plus 8,
decided.
yes, 24.
Yes, that is a 24.
So I rolled a 24 on the insight. The book, it has a picture of the original Minotaur, doesn't it?
It does.
So Bully kind of looks at the book and he looks at the picture. I was like, well, I'll be damned. I recognize that mask anywhere. That's my great 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 ancestor. Yo, yo.
Would you say that out loud?
Yes.
So Gidget looks at you and he drops the book and he says, "You're one of them. You're one of them."
Okay, okay, no, Gidget, Gidget, I need you to calm down. I need you to stay calm, okay? Bully is
Yeah.
a descendant of that village of Minotaur, but he means no harm to the village. He helped save the kids that got taken.
Yeah.
We truly mean you no harm, okay?
Okay. Okay. But did he try to kill me?
No, Bully has never tried to kill. Has Bully tried to kill him?
Well, not for the reasons you think. Because
So,
there's that
so
thing
Bully
where you
was going to
impersonated
kill
me.
you. In the interest of honesty, Bully was maybe thinking about maybe killing you, but that was because of the shapeshifter pranking and not because of his heritage.
So at this point, Gidget, who remember is a small fella, literally climbs you, Oneki, and climbs to your shoulders and holds onto your collar. And he starts to shake. He attempts to shake you, but he ends up shaking himself. He's like, but he's one of them, Oneki!
Okay, I'm
Would I hear any of this happening as it like occurs? Since
I'm
I
gonna
am like
I'm gonna say
controlling.
yes, just for the I want to see what happens.
Alrighty then.
Am I
Hearing
seeing this happen also?
Yes, you have your shadow creatures walking around, and you can definitely hear through them, so you would hear them.
So
Those
hearing all of
pretty
this,
things like fuck.
I want to kind of walk up to them and I'm not gonna have any kind of anger so far, but I'm hearing yelling, so I am concerned, and I'm gonna kind of ask Oneki. I'm gonna say, Oneki, what's going on?
we have a little bit of a situation
Gidget.
concerning the history of Bully's tribe. I'm trying to like speak so soothingly as I'm saying this. I would like to. God damn it! I don't like to cast magic on allies without their permission. Gidget, Gidget, I need you. Okay, Gidget, I really need you to calm down because I promise you that Tien knows about Bully's history. She knows that he's in the village, and she would not let a threat to the village into the festival. So if it's okay, I just want to cast calm emotions very quickly, just so that we can all talk about this with a level head. Is that okay?
And he's still shaking you, and he's like, "Yes, please do it. Oh my god, this is tiring."
And I cast calm emotions. So if he wants, he can do the spell save. It's 14 charisma. Otherwise, I think you can choose to fail it. So
He's definitely gonna choose to fail it, and with that, he's gonna fall to the floor with a sickening thud, and a deep breath, and a deep exhale.
I would like to catch him. I don't want him to actually fall to the floor.
So he
Okay,
falls into your
Literally hold
arms.
him
I'm
in
gonna
my
can I
arms.
no, can I try to like move her hand before she get a chance to catch him, please?
give
Just
me a
because
contested. Give me a contested strength check.
just because literally because I'm irritated because of the fact that he just happened to like jump out and try like start yelling when everything was going so well. So I'm frustrated.
So give me a strength check. See if you can move Oneki's arms.
Is
Alrighty.
it going to be contested strength?
Yeah.
So while this is going on, I'm gonna like calmly speak to Gidget. Like, Gidget, do you want to know how I know of your name before you ever formally introduce yourself to me as Gidget?
That's only an 8.
So when his body bounces to when his body hits the floor sickeningly, he looks up at you, Bully, and it's not really a high look up because you're still in gnome form, and he says, "Why? How? What? Huh? What?"
Gidget, your mother, a dragonborn, real roguish, secretive hush hush type, right?
Yeah.
Many moons ago, your mother and I were part of the same team for the same village. That's how I know of your existence. I'm not the bad person you think that I'm just give me a chance. I'm really trying.
And he give me a persuasion check because he's looking at you very confused for a lot of reasons, but mainly because you're a gnome talking about his mom.
You have
Oh,
that bardic inspiration as well.
I do. Give me just a sec, cause I gotta let my computer stop lagging.
You want me to
And
roll
this is
for
Sorry
you?
all
if you hear me fussing
perfectly.
around. I'm feeding the cat. I'm cat sitting.
I'm about to say, you want me to roll for you?
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
All right. You got a 24. What the tarnation? So Gidget looks up at you and he takes a deep breath. He lifts himself up, dusts himself off, and he casts his magic back on you, Oneki, to turn you back into your changeling form. And he says, "You guys have 5 minutes to get your shit together so we can finish this play. So when the bus comes to take the old people to the land of the dead, I can be happy I did a good job. After that, I think I need a break from all of you."
That's fair.
This has been a very. I probably should have told you all my history a lot sooner. I'm sorry, you all.
Wow.
History in the past is of no concern to me. You are still my comrade. That is all I care about.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I would not have liked to have the information before, but it is what it is.
That means a lot to me, Yazel and Oneki. I'm sure Vez is listening too, somewhere nodding in agreement, but you can never be
Vez just
certain of him.
Vez just sends a text and just like sends an emoji, just an okay symbol. So he's still keeping watch.
So at this point, you guys can hear Gidget on stage, kind of just not pandering. He's filling for time. He's like, "So, when you're on the bus to the land of the dead, what do you get most excited to see? The ocean? Lady Loki's firing pillar? Maybe the lunch? And what's the deal with the airline food, guys?" And the old people are not having that shit at all.
I want to yell from backstage. I want to see that ass. I heard it's to die for.
And the old men in the crowd snicker. Because as we know, old men in a nursing home are terrible people. Um, that's neither here nor there. So at this point, the curtains rise again, and we're at the point where um, the elves are fleeing from the fleeing from Bully's village, and we see Neon stop, and they say, "Go on without me. I'll catch up." As as storm clouds form over the forest, and Neon's body lines with the gold runes, as lightning falls from the sky, electrocuting a dozen or so of the quote unquote bad guys, and three of them don't get up, but the other ones do. But this attack has left Neon in a very vulnerable state. And as you, Bully, and you, Oneki, continue to run with the rest of the villagers to make sure that they are safe, you can hear Neon die as multiple sharp objects are plunged into their bodies.
Okay, Oneki is trying to sell this performance. Like Oneki is crying real tears, trying to sell this performance.
Give me a
I would
performance
also like
check with
to.
advantage.
I would also like to help. Like now is not the time to shed tears of sorrow. Shed tears of joy instead, for he died on his feet, a free man living a short life rather than a long enslaved soul.
Give me
23.
performance with advantage.
23.
So with the 23, you hear children begin to like cry, and you hear some of the adults sniffle because they're trying to hold it in because they're tough boys and girls.
All right, I'm at a 15.
All right, so that's fine. It's perfect. So with that, the crowd begins to yeah, yeah, and you hear someone in the way back of the open atrium yell, "Beat that dude ass! Come on, Zanon, beat that bully ass!" And we get to a clearing, and there's sparkles in the air as each of the remaining Fae cross into a clearing. At the edge of the clearing, we see a towering figure in a wooden mask with finely defined intricate horns and a blue clouded cloak walk into frame. The figure is towering and imposing. It's a stark contrast to Zanak the Gnome as the earth below begins to shake, and you can see Zanak being filled with the wild magic of the Fae, and his eyes glow a fiery red, staring up at the Minotaur as the Minotaur um, brandishes a Kurisaga. I always say this incorrectly. A Kusarigama, and begins to spin the chain, begins to spin the flail, and he throws it towards the gnome, but the gnome catches it, and it begins to melt in his hands as the heat radiates from the end into the bull's hand, and he drops it in pain.
You
The
can sow your seeds of chaos and discord here, but nature finds a way of balancing itself out. The Feywild will have their day of truth, even if you were to strike me down.
How dare you talk to me, you dirty Fay? I'll eat your heart. And the bull throws a series of shuriken. But Leo, you actually, Oneki, give me a D10.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
8.
So you, the changeling you, waves their hands as a wall of earth erupts in front of Zanak the gnome, catching the shuriken as they detonate, throwing Zanak back a few feet. The Minotaur brandishes two giant axes in his hands, and he says, "I'll kill all of you. None of you will last. Your hearts will be
You,
mine,
Min-
and you dirty Fae will be gone from this earth."
you Minotaur only know the strength of your hatred and your weapons, but not the bond of the magic of friendship.
Friendship? Our master teaches not of friendship, but of strength, just like his master before him. And the Minotaur, the masked Minotaur, jumps into the air and tries to come down upon you, Zanak, with both axe heads ready to take your head off. Give me a dexterity check with advantage.
I have a 16.
So with the 16, Zanak barely rolls away in time as the axe heads land into the earth, cracking it, leaving giant craters. Zanak, what do you want to do at this point? The Minotaur is trying to get the axe heads out of the earth, and he's almost have it. What do you want to do?
Uh, Knowing that I can't touch the Minotaur, but I am magical. Ah, and then so tabletop. Canonically, I destroy him with a fireball, right?
Yeah, a very think you watch One Piece, right? Or at least seen it?
Uh, Parts. It's been a while.
Okay, so in One Piece, Ace RIP, essentially when he's like fucking jacked, he can essentially create a sun. And that's essentially what you use to kill Bully's super descendant is essentially a fireball with the heat intensity of a concentrated star.
Or,
Okay.
or Or you could have used a better fire user and said Escanor, but
Again, R.I.P. And that's debatable.
I said what I said.
I know you said what you said, but what you said was clerically wrong.
Ooh,
Yeah. So if you're in the audience and you're looking at my gnome character, um, my gnome does this, does a quick sleight of hands where he grabs the Minotaur by his nose hairs, and you would see almost like a magma type flow of magic flow up his hands, flow up his arms into his hands, and the nose hairs that he's beginning to hold begin to burst into flames, and the Minotaur itself begins to erupt into a ball of flames from the inside out.
Okay. So this is something that everyone in the village has seen at least once in their life, but it's still a very carnal and gruesome thing to see someone melt from the inside out, and not even melt, incinerate from the inside out. As Zanak, as the Minotaur fades away in the wind as ashes, Zanak's hand begins to rot, and Zanak uses his fire to burn off the rotting part of his hand to stop the poison from going any further. And as this is happening, Lael, you it's not truly known what Lael does, but all we know is that they use their earth powers, and right after a temporary treaty, a retreat is made by the bad guys after Lael uses their earth powers. What do you think Lael did in that moment to make everyone who saw their leader die but knows that they have to complete a mission? What would you think would cause them to run? Oh, Zaneki's still feeding the cat?
Hmm? No, sorry.
Oh, it's cool. So what would you think would make a bunch of like super soldiers want to run away?
Using earthbending.
Using essentially earthbending. What do you think would make them want to run away? Like, what would they see?
I mean, I can't just Avatar Kyoshi this situation and
I mean, you could.
I
I
pictured
actually
her
would.
stuffing
I'd
her
like
foot
to
in,
like
62 graves.
I'd like to form like a trench that is just like filled with lava.
Okay. So at that point, what would you do with the lava pit? Like just show them what's up, or would you like pull some of them into it?
Definitely pull a couple of them into. I think like first of all, create the lava pit as like a little bit of a barrier, so like it's harder for them to get to us,
Mm-hmm.
and then demonstrate that I can also attack people with the lava.
Okay. So at that point, after a few screams of melting shinobi, the rest of them run away, and Gidget comes to the stage, and he says, "And so, through many a sacrifice, our founders won the night, and as dawn broke, a treaty was signed, ensuring our safety. And this is what we celebrate, that even though we are persecuted throughout this world, we are one people. And the Feywild connects us to a power that is unlike any other on Nua Vernatu. One that will keep us safe and loved in our darkest hour. Thank you." And everyone in the crowd rises to their feet with a roarous applause as the curtains close and you all change back to your forms. And Gidget looks at all of you, ragged, tired, exhausted even after today. And he says, "I don't know about any of you, but I could use a drink."
Are you old enough to drink?
I don't think that matters. And he changes his form to be an older version of himself.
You know what? Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth. I'll drink to this.
So, Bully, I actually need for you to give me a history check.
I'm
I'm gonna say you still have your bardic inspiration. The DC is 15.
Okay, well, I've already made 117.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so you've heard you've heard the tale of, well, from their side. What do you think you were told, if you were told anything at all, about that night of your ancestors' death, of a treaty being signed between warriors who lived to essentially fucking hate crime elves versus elves? Like, what do you think that history lesson for you was for that?
All right, so this is stricken from official village history,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very foretold within my specific clan history, seeing as, our ancestor died in service to the village,
Yeah.
you know? So the official story that Bully has been raised to believe is that his great, 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 great distant relative
Mm-hmm.
was one of the first Anbu generals, so to speak. And because this was a batch of rebellious rogue Fae, um, potentially plotting to set up a stronghold that they all needed to be eradicated. There was no way to tell the good Fae from the bad. And my great, 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 great distant relative went out in the most honorable fashion possible, sacrificing his life to complete the mission at all costs. He felt he had no other choice.
So at this point, whose story do you think you would believe? Now, seeing essentially what you were taught to be a village of like rogue elves who were trying to take over the world versus what you're seeing now, which is just people trying to live their life the best they can. How do you think you're feeling right now?
Uh, I believe that the story of these villagers are true. I also believe that my grandfather really was given those orders as told. However, the true nature of the orders was not directly given to him. So I believe I'm not trying to cop out by saying that like there's truth in both statements. Like he was given those orders, and these events did take place as it was said in a play. My grandfather just thought differently. If that makes any sense, I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. So
But
we're
no, I
so
definitely feel.
hmm?
I was about to say, I definitely feel the plight of the villagers who have survived this ordeal. I can definitely see where my hidden village has done wrong in the past in zeal. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, that kind of thing.
Okay. So I think we're going to end tonight with this one thing. Somewhere a long while away from the village, we see one Commander Shro with a legion of her elite Tabaxi soldiers. We see her as five of her soldiers have been maimed by one of Bully's traps. One of the other soldiers who has been untouched runs up to her and he says, "Ma'am, this is the fifth trap that we've fallen into. Do you think we're gonna find this creature?" And she looks down to him and she says, "Soldier, I need you to do two things. One, don't ask stupid questions because at this point, the more traps we fall into, the closer we get to Bully. And the second thing is to shoot every one of those soldiers. We need them back on their feet, so they need to die." And he salutes her and runs over to the main soldiers. And as they scream and try to plead for their life, he shoots every one of them. And moments later, you hear marching as the five soldiers who died pop back into existence, ready to fight another day. So I think we're going to
My
end it here tonight with that.
my God. I absolutely love this. Was a very well crafted session for me personally.
Oh no, I enjoyed. Wait, who's Commander Shro?
So
Captain Shro.
Commander Shro is the Navy, is the
Lady on the
fleet
boat,
admiral who's
Ah,
after
fuck.
Bully.
the
Yeah.
one that was
Oh
supposed to
yeah.
die 2 sessions ago, that you convinced me to run away from.
You know, like a loser running.
That the thing is with you either have to go full murder hobo or you have to go full peace mode. You can't we can't do in betweens. You either don't leave if you're gonna kill some or you have to kill everyone, or if you're gonna be merciful, you have to be merciful against everyone. There's no we can't do in betweens.
I'm absolutely okay with killing everyone.
Or at
They
least
all
attempting to.
We do need to figure out how the necromancy thing is happening before we start killing people.
they
Actually,
uh they only want me for questioning for 2 lives that they know I might have something to do with. They can't prove that I actually killed them. They don't even have the bodies. They just don't know what happened from my point of view.
We're table talking.
They also can't prove that I put those traps there. But
They also
I'm
can't prove. They also. It's a situation where if they're running after you and they just happen to find traps and they know that you're a fucking military ballistics commando, it's kind of like if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, is it a duck?
as far as they know, I'm being set up.
That's
I
fair.
actually have a very story-driven excuse.
Also, Nick,
Yes.
just because I wasn't able to do any attack this session, can I choose after the play to just kind of like walk out into the forest and just shoot a random spirit gun just out into the darkness?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna hit anything. That's up to you. I just want to do something because I was like, it's been a minute since I've gotten to stretch my arms and
You know
flex.
what? Give me a d20.
I'm gonna make a
Even
comment,
you
but
hit
only
something
after
odd, you don't hit anything.
Alrighty, even I hit something odd, I hit nothing. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, I hit nothing. Tragic.
Damn
So
it.
what I pictured like the spirit gun goes off in the air like a giant flare, and somewhere off in the distance, the Navy officers see it and figure that that's probably something to do with us.
So honestly, if you would have got an even number, you would have killed one of the Navy men.
Shit.
And yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
That would have been great.
Exactly. You had to get a fucking odd number. You could have lied to me.
Bro, you have D&D Beyond. You could have seen
I
it.
literally just closed it.
I don't know that though.
He didn't. He didn't. That's honorable.
I didn't know that.
You could have lied. You could be like, "Yep, I got a super even number. I got a 2."
But if
Oh, not the most even of evens.
but man, how could I ever expect my DM to be honest with me if I am not honest with my DM, you know?
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, because I had to ask Isaac because this whole session is wrapped around the fact that I was rereading the fucking paragraphs he sent me about his village. I'm like, is this just a Donzo version of the Leaf Village? Did this man just write Roots and Toby Rama's Leaf Village combined? And he's like, yeah. So yeah.
But I know what it's supposed to be compared to what it actually is.
So yeah, now we have Biscuits McGee running things, and there's an airship coming to take old people to the land of the dead where you guys need to be.
Yeah, wasn't
That's
someone
kind of grim.
trying to go to the land of the dead? Also, isn't that where Ilu is?
Mm-hmm.
Them old people going to the land of the dead, they fit to be permanent residents, ain't they?
Yep.
Mm.
Because at this point with the village, they've essentially created a relationship where if you just feel like not living anymore, you can just hop on the bus and just go there and fucking vibe. It's the most metal thing ever. It's like, yep, I don't feel like living anymore. Deuces, and take one nice little bus ride to the land of the dead and chill the TSA until they call your number.
That's hyper ethical. I remember writing criminal justice papers about assisted suicide and the legality of it. Like, I approve. I stand that.
Yeah, man.
Whew.
I actually have a question before I hop off.
Hmm?
From an aquamarine manacle,
Yeah.
I'm wondering, would it allow me to see through darkness, like almost like Devil's Sight?
Um. Honestly, I thought you already had that, but yeah, that makes sense.
Hey,
I have
yo,
dark
would
vision,
be
but I don't have Devil's Sight.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense for you to have double sight since you're essentially one with the shadows at that point.
I had a question.
Yes.
Was having me divert the river a reference to one of the 12 Herculean tasks?
It was.
You, sir, are a playwright and a scholar. I want to make sure for the culture.
Also, um, tilling the land was a reference to the fact that Hercules had to shovel a bunch of shit.
Yeah,
So it was a combined one.
I started piecing that together. I got even more excited. Like, good God, this man really put in like some A tier effort.
Yeah. I'm a little sad no one tried to fight the water elemental, but it is what it is. I truly expect you two to try to fight the water
Like I
elemental.
said, had he not been like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to be here right now, I'm late, and he would have been like, buzz off, I'm busy. I definitely would have been like, well, time to fight him.
It crossed my mind, but with Bully, going to therapy and trying to become, that peaceful farmer that he wants to be in the future, like I'm dedicating to remember to try to choose peace at first, and then when peace is not rewarded and or goes out the window, it's killing time.
Also, someone I was watching TikTok, and someone's like, "Yeah, give your party a random child and see who has to babysit the child during combat." And I'm like, I've never actually thought about making you babysit a child during combat. I could take one of you out the game immediately.
Which
See, the way it probably be me because I carry the harness and wouldn't want to be on front lines with old girl on my back.
Yeah, I'm like, damn,
That'll be
that
interesting.
is a monster move to make you not fight because you're babysitting.
I'm a,
It's funny, but that just means I'd have to use ranged weapons, if any at all, and then I fight with inspiration because I'm protecting a child I care about. Don't forget, Bully canonically has had tea time with Aaron
That
like
is
a
true.
few times now.
You've had tea time with Ari.
Like he gonna go hard in the paint for her.
I'm gonna just be honest. Giving us a random child, I would definitely not be the one trying to protect it. In fact, I would more than likely be the one to suggest using it as bait to keep them distracted while we come up with something to defeat them.
That's ingenious, and I'm not even mad at it.
Exactly.
I'm interested to engage in combat though. I haven't tried any of my ranger stuff yet, so we'll see.
All right.
Also, I have some tricks I'd like to try with the shadow spawn.
But I'm going to kick off. I hope everyone has a good rest of the year. And we're going to have to figure out a day and time to try to play. Because I don't know what my work schedule is going to be like. They're talking about switching schedules. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
We can always go. We can always talk about trying Thursday.